WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice-looking Wednesday morning. I hope you're doing well. You know, there's one thread of commonality that surfaces a lot when doing a radio show here in Ocala, is that you always run into people who are doing good things for other people, and it just seems to be an endless stream of people with that type of a heart. And once in a while, those people are also happen to be celebrities, and we have a celebrity in the studio right now. Don Nottingham is also known as the human bowling ball. He was with the Miami Dolphins and also the Baltimore Colts, and I'm reading this because, you know, I'm not a sports guy, but he's here to help us better understand why we need to support Special Olympics and also how we can support it with the annual golf tournament. Galen Unold, who does the segment in the morning with us from Life South to encourage us to donate blood, told us this morning that he heard the ad that Don Nottingham did with Doug Smith, who was our friend since 1972. We've known Doug. He's 52 now, so he was 11 then or something like that. Was a Special Olympian, although I was told you can't use the word Olympian. I guess it's a copyrighted word, just like Miami Dolphins. You're not allowed to use that either. But anyway, let me introduce everybody. Let me see. Tracy Pick is in the studio. Tracy, good morning again. Thank you for coming in. I think you got this whole ball started, didn't you, when you came in?
Actually, Connie coming in my office.
Connie did. Okay.
We just picked it up as we went along.
Okay, and I don't hear you on the mic, so if you wouldn't mind just kind of grabbing a mic, and there you go.
Actually, Connie came into my office with it, and then I picked it up, and then I called Don, and it just, as you said when we started, the community just comes together when you have a great event, and that's one thing we're blessed with having here in Ocala and Marion County.
Okay, excellent.
Is we pull together as a team.
And the Special Olympics, we will speak about that. Connie, thank you for coming in as well.
For having us.
Connie Roman is here. Carl Corbin, Tracy Pick, Carl.
Yes.
I'm getting the names wrong. Tracy's here. Carl's over there. You are the Area 4 Training Director. Sorry.
Special Olympics.
Sorry, I'm getting my names mixed up. Thank you, all of you, for coming in. Don Nottingham, thank you for coming in. All right, now we got all the names set. Good morning, Don. Thank you.
Good morning.
How did you get involved? I mean, you have this vast background. You could have just laid back and taken it easy, right?
Well, it's kind of funny. When I first came into the NFL, and I actually started with the Baltimore Colts, and the very first event that I went to as a member of the Baltimore Colts was a Special Olympics event.
Really?
In Baltimore County, and I was so impressed with the organization and the people, and especially the participants. They're the most honest, absolute greatest fans you could ever have, and to see the gleam and the smiles on their faces when they had a chance to actually compete as a regular athlete, it was well worth the time. And when Tracy called me and told me that we had a little difficulty with some funding for the Special Olympics in Marion County, I said, well, let's do something. So that's what we're here for.
That is awesome. The Special Olympics is truly special. The one scene that always replays in my mind was the track scene where one of the Special Olympians or Special Olympic athletes fell, and the others picked him up, and nobody won. They all won. They all got across the line at the same time. It was one of those moments. There's something to be said about that mentality that we all should embrace. Let me ask you something, Don, if you don't mind, not to get too personal, but go back when you were a young man. Sports was important to you. What did it do for you? Besides learning the game and all that contributes to a person, what did it do for your...
I have been thankful and so well blessed all my life because of the mentors, which are my coaches, which are the guys that I lined up next to from the first time I had a uniform on all the way through high school, through college.
Mm-hmm.
And I was extremely blessed because I got to play past college, which most people aren't going to get that opportunity. But I've still got friends today, and I've got people that I've met and people that have given me experience, and they've given me support. I've learned how to mix, how to be part of a team. I'd rather be part of a team than all by myself at the top of the track. There's no doubt in my mind about it. There's so much more to be generated when to be part of a team, especially wins. I missed the Dolphins 17-0 season because I was playing for the Baltimore Colts. But we had a perfect season in my high school. And you know what? Those days are still as good as it gets.
That is cool, and that's kind of what I wanted to go for, because the participants in the Special Olympics get that same exhilarating feeling. They know that they are accomplishing something, and maybe they've been told by society, don't expect much, but here they are accomplishing a lot.
Like I said, when I looked into the eyes of the young man that I put the first medal around his neck, because he finished. He was a winner. I mean, that look will never ever leave me. And I said I've often said that Special Olympians are the most honest people in the world. They're going to let you know exactly what they think of you. There is no guile. There is no secrecy. It's coming right out. It comes right from the heart. And the thing is that I think because of the organization and what they do, the emphasis is always on loving and accepting and being part of a group instead of trying to stand out.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
Very special person today, sir, because you are influencing others just by the way you're speaking about it, because it is so genuine in the words that you choose. And also you are actually doing it. You're just not talking about it. You're taking the action, and then other people will be inspired by that action and do it themselves.
Yeah, I learned pretty early with the guys I hung out with. I hung out with some pretty cool guys. But I said, because you're doing good things and because you're raising money doesn't mean you can't have fun doing it. That's why we're going to have a golf tournament coming up in October, and I will guarantee you a good time. We're going to have a little mixing, pairing, specialty party with all the people involved the night before the tournament, and I will guarantee that's going to be at Homewood Suites, is one of our sponsors. But there'll be more stories told that night. There'll be more experiences shared that night. But I'm only going to bring up 4 or 5 of my closest friends to come up for this first one and get it started. But they're pretty good. They're interesting, and the stories that are going to be shared are stories that if you didn't know, if I wasn't there and didn't know they were true, you swore they make them up. That's just how it has to be. But then we'll go out Saturday morning and play golf, and some of our golf swings are not the prettiest in the world, but I will guarantee you that there'll be a lot of one-liners. And it's
well, we know what that's like.
We like to think that if you come to an event that especially our NFL alumni group, if we have an event, we want people to come happy. We want them to go home happier. We want them to go home and tell people, I spent Saturday afternoon with Don or Larry or Mike or whoever, and we had a good time. And then because that makes it easier, especially right now. Things are a little tight for a lot of people. So reaching into that pocket for your cash is, you got to feel like you're getting your money's worth. And we want to make sure that we're not only doing good things, but we're going to make sure it's worthwhile for you to do good things.
And you're in such a unique position that most of us will never be in, and that's that position of celebrity. It's kind of a hard pill to swallow. I know. I saw the face. There's a humble face, but the truth is, you don't see yourself that way, but other people do, and you sort of know that, and you're lending that so that other people will be attracted to it. Obviously, I mean, look at all the attention that you get anytime you show up anywhere, and that's not a bad thing. When celebrities just kind of hold themselves up, as so many have become, like Howard Hughes, I guess he was the notorious one, right? Who became a hermit. I mean, as opposed to saying, okay, well, I achieved this, whatever, by God's grace, here I am, and people happen to know my name, and they respect what I've done in the past. Well, landing into something like Special Olympics is outstanding.
Yeah, it's the same, though. It doesn't matter if you have I think of myself, if you're going to put celebrity with Don Nottingham, it's definitely on the minor side, but that's only because I was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time. If I start listing off all of the people that have helped me and that I've gotten to know and that have become mentors to me in my life, it humbles me to even think about some of these guys. And right from the start, said, the number one thing you've got to always do is be willing to put something back in your community. And that's what I live that. I'm 100% sold on doing that.
The greatest men are always the most humble. And by the way, when you refer to yourself as a minor celebrity, some of the greatest pieces of classical music are in minor keys.
Oh, that's right.
Just remember that. Just remember that.
All the way through high school, I was called Squeak. I have no voice. I have no height. I have no, I'm just what I am.
Did you like the name Human Bowling Ball? I would have been offended. I would say, you got to be kidding. I have no holes in me. What are you talking about?
Listen, you don't really have much choice in that one. When somebody calls you a bowling ball, when the name was put on me, it was done kind of out of respect and
yeah, I'm sure it
anger.
was. I'm sure. Out of anger.
I'd put somebody on his butt, and then when a guy like Howard Cosell starts picking it up, there's no way.
That's awesome.
That's
stuck.
right.
That's
I would have rather had something like cowboy or tough or whatever, anything but
bowling ball. That's kind of cool.
But it is what it is, and
that
just like I said, I've been called. You'll hear about that if you come out Friday night. There's lots of stories. The guys, when they come around, they like to pick on Don. So
if you ever meet the other Don Rickles, he's going to call you a hockey puck. So
that's right.
That's just a joke. All right, do you want to go? You want to take some phone calls, and then we'll focus on the golf tournament, because that's the main reason you're here, and to help out the Special Olympics athletes. Good morning. Thank you for calling in. You're on the air with Don Nottingham. Anybody there? Going once, going twice. I guess.
Cell phones.
Did I not do it right? I did it right. Yes, I did everything right. Okay.
He's only been doing this since '84.
I don't know what I dropped there. All right, so the golf tournament. Who wants to talk about the way to participate in it? Don, do you know how do you do this?
I'll let Tracy kind of go over that with you. But it's going to be a scramble golf tournament, which means basically everybody hits. We pick the best shot, and everybody hits again. So that puts no pressure on me. So I always have a ball to hit, and if I do what Otto Graham told me to do, is Nottingham, he says, when you go to these tournaments, you always should putt last. I said, well, why? And he says, you give everybody else a chance to be the hero. And if they don't make it, then you get to be the hero. And guess what? If you don't make it, you're just like them.
I like that. That has to be some kind of scariness about it, though, because even though you're out there for somebody else, you want to make sure that you can get the job done, so to speak.
Absolutely. We're competitive, so we want to make birdies. We want to make the best shot we can make. But mostly what I'm concerned with is I want the guys and the girls sometimes that I play with, I want them to have fun when we're out there. And that's what we try to do. We tell stories, and we just kind of talk about whatever it takes to keep smiles on people's faces. We don't. We'll keep ours at about 32 teams, so we'll play pretty fast.
Wow.
We'll get on and off the golf course, and then have some fellowship afterwards, and hopefully make a lot of money for the Special Olympians.
Are you the cart driver? Do you like driving the cart?
I just soon not drive. Honestly, if I can trust the guy not to throw me in
in football, it's considered not appropriate or not sportsmanlike to dance at the end zone when you have a touchdown. Can you do it on the golf course? Are you allowed to dance?
You can dance. Actually, you can dance when your opponent is hitting the golf ball if you want to. I mean, we don't play anything that's so hard that way. But for the most part, we're all on the same team, so we're all gonna kind of be quiet and hope somebody hits one in the fairway, so we can got one to start with, and then we can try to hit the 300-yard shot that we've never done before.
Are you a practical joker?
Not really.
Not really?
I wouldn't be considered a
Because I got these golf balls made out of chalk if you want some of them.
Yeah.
Just if you want to have some fun.
We've done a few of those. We've had lots of experiences with guys coming up with exploding golf balls. We used to play softball. We'd get the pitcher to slip a grapefruit in once in a while. And just
a grapefruit?
Liven things up.
How could you not see that, though?
You always have to do you can't tell the difference if we got guys that we play softball with that can hit the ball over the fence every single time. So if you throw them a grapefruit, they don't quite get it over the fence.
Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny.
That's usually pretty good for the crowd.
The golf tournament is October 13th, so it's getting pretty close. There's still time. Tracy, I guess you'll be the person to answer the questions about the tournament.
Absolutely, and as Don basically put it, this is a fundraiser for our local I know you ain't supposed to say "our" anymore, but our county's local athletes, and I'll let Carl go into the logistics of the sports themselves with the athletes, but this is a fundraiser, but we're trying to put fun in fundraising.
Yeah.
So you got to have that, and we really would be amiss if we didn't have our sponsors to help us out. And we've been very blessed to have quite a few of the local establishments and people such as Don come forward and help us out. There is still time to play. I think that we actually have about 8 to 10 foursomes left. So there's 40.
Okay.
40 players, but it can go very fast. And one of our sponsors, and they've been a little inspirational in helping us out somewhat, is Tony and Renee Oswald over at Chili's.
Okay.
And they just had their tournament for the Chili's St. Jude's Hospital.
Okay.
And it was going along, and all of a sudden, boom, it just filled up the last minute. They had a great tournament, but they're also helping us sponsor our local athletes as well. But most of our sponsors, but the two major ones, which is Senior Health Plus, which is Kevin Reynolds, you can sign up there. And the address is 1415 Southwest 17th Street, right there. That big glass ball right there on 17th Street. So you can go in there. His secretary.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, she always has the flyers set up and ready to go, as well as Jay, who owns the Verizon wireless stores in Bellevue and Silver Spring Shores. So you can go in there and get the sign up sheets as well. Or I think you can also stop in either the Ocala Volvo Subaru, or even over at the BMW, Porsche, and Volkswagen here in Ocala as well, and just see John. I think he has sign-up sheets as well.
They're all fun.
So.
And speaking about foursomes, Galen Unold from Life South Blood Centers, he was one of the first foursomes to sign up because he got all excited about the tournament when he heard that it was going to be here, that Don Nottingham was going to be here.
And you guys have been a great
for
sponsor.
Special Olympics.
You know, with you and Joe, and I mean, right off the bat, you guys helped us out, as well as Cox. So, and we've got billboards up now. And if you can, we'd really love to have you guys go on. It's Facebook, and I'm not real good with all this Facebook stuff.
Right.
Facebook.com, Special Olympics, Marion County, Florida.
Okay.
But I found out, just if you're on Facebook, if you type in Marion County Golf, or Special Olympics, Marion County Golf, you can find us. And it's our 40th year. I'm not going to steal Carl's thunder, but it's our 40th year, and that's the symbol that we actually have up. And if you can go on there and like us, but make sure it's the golf.
And he's been trying to get us to like him, Robin, but we haven't liked him yet.
Yeah, you guys haven't liked us yet.
Dancing all around it.
Joe just liked us, so that's good.
Well, good. We'll find it.
But you know, just to round up, we just also had Dr. Quilmar over at ICE, who's a major sponsor. Cox is a major sponsor. So in Cap Design, the Ocala Ale House, McDonald's, Ocala Hospitals Group, Sam's. It just goes on and on.
That's great.
And on
It's great that they're stepping up.
Just go on Facebook. You can see all our sponsors. I would like to get a plug out to all of them, but I know we can't just due to time frame. But really what it's all about is our athletes, and it's our local athletes that really, we've been here for 40 years, but they really don't get the support and funding that we're trying to change that this year. And we had a very successful tournament. They had a great committee last year that had a great tournament, and we're following on that. We have a great committee this year. So if it was okay, I'd like to turn over to Carl and talk a little bit about the athletes and how it benefits them.
Yeah, Carl, who are the athletes?
All right, the athletes are a group of individuals from the age of 8 to whatever.
Okay.
We've even had some senior citizens, and y'all are talking about.
See, I didn't know that.
Doug was still eligible to become an athlete.
Really?
He just had to fill out the paperwork.
All right, so we'll get. I'm sure he'd love to.
Yes. Well, I was speaking to him when we was in here last month, and he was showing some interest, but he wants to move up into coaching, which is one of the programs we have.
Okay.
Athletes can move up into coaching positions over time.
Do they have to pass some kind of a physical?
Well, it's a medical physical only.
That's what I mean.
And
that's what I mean. Yeah.
We've got actually a physical coming up a few days just before the actual golf
October
tournament.
10th is the physical.
And we can have the information sent out to you if you would contact the local Special Olympics office.
All right, and is it too? I guess it's not too late for athletes to sign up, right?
It's never too late.
What are the events that they will be?
All right. Well, Special Olympics is a year-round training program at no cost to the athletes or their families. So we need to point that out. But right now,
that's a good thing to point out. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got year-round training in athletics, which is track and field, bowling, basketball, aquatics, swimming, golf. We do have a local golf program, equestrian, horseback riding, cycling, and bocce. And coming up within the next couple weeks, we're looking at starting up unified flag football.
Oh,
Our
nice.
athletes for years have always said they wanted to do football. Well, Florida has finally accepted the...
But it's got to be flag, obviously.
It's fully non-contact,
Yeah,
and
right,
I'm going to
yeah.
be coaching that for the first season.
They can't mimic the bowling ball. Sorry, you got to
Yeah.
got to grab the flag. No knocking
flag.
down.
Well, Special Olympics is supposed to be non-contact sports.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
when you get into like basketball, I want to see it become non-contact.
Yeah.
But I'm also a basketball coach.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun to get out there with all the athletes.
It is. It's very inspirational to for all of us, for anything. I mean, if you want to make somebody feel good about themselves, give them an opportunity to shine, and that's what you're doing. Whether it's in this case, it's sports, it could be in the arts, it could be in anything. Something that allows somebody to shine. That's why I am a big supporter. By the way, nobody's mentioned the $1 million hole-in-one prize.
Yeah.
Is that, how likely is it to get a hole-in-one? Does anybody know this? What is the statistics?
I love the idea of the $1 million hole-in-one, but to me that's kind of the same as the lottery. It's a pretty safe bet with me on a golf course. I know we've run one single tournament since 1988 in South Florida with our NFL Alumni Association, and we've had cash, we've had cars, we've had boats, we've had motorcycles, we've had about everything you can think of, and we've had them set up, and we have yet to give away anything in a hole-in-one. I guess the level of our golfers, it proves that most of my golfers that come out are honest people.
Oh, that's that's
They're
too
definitely
funny.
not pros.
That's too funny.
But, how great would that be, though, for everybody? I mean, the publicity that we would get as a Special Olympics group, the people that put the sponsorship for the hole-in-one up get special treatment, and the participant gets special treatment. What a great thing if you could get lucky and make that hole-in-one. But I'm still...
Wouldn't it be great if somebody won it and gave it and handed it back?
Oh, yeah.
Donate it to somebody. Yeah.
I've seen really great golfers, but there's something about that. It's a hole-in-one, and you can get $1 million for it because it just doesn't get done every day.
Don, is golf something you do for enjoyment, or you do them for like tournaments only, or?
I think golf is the most mental game I've ever played in my life. I mean, it's I have to take the attitude. It's just 4 inches between my ears that separates me. If I tried to be as good on the golf course just as I was as a football player, which was not great. I was a good football player. I would have to spend hour upon hour upon hour on the practice range. So the nice thing about golf, it's mental. If I go out there with the right attitude and get myself mentally prepared, I don't try to knock the ball clear around the earth, just knock it from one point on the earth to the next, then I do much better. But it's what a great game, though. You're playing usually with people you like, great people. You're playing in great scenery. The weather's usually pretty good. Sometimes it gets a little warm. But it's an awesome game. It's one you can take on, and that's why they have these things called handicaps.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly why.
I used to play with Earl Morrow all the time. He told me his handicap was his number, 15. I said, I'm okay with it. Mine's 36.
Joe printed up a picture probably off the internet. It looks like an old football card of you.
That's my Baltimore Colts.
You don't look all that
card.
different now. You don't look all that different. You haven't aged at all.
Well, I was much taller then.
Oh, really? I'm sure you have some fans calling in because the phones are lit up. So let me, if you don't mind, you mind fielding some calls?
Not a bit.
All right. This may be for Don. It may be about the Special Olympics. Either or is okay. Good morning. You've been patient. Thank you for being patient. You're on the air now. Are you there? Well, I guess you weren't that patient. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I've played in charity golf tournaments before, and it's a great thing. And I did not get a hole-in-one, but I was playing in a Lions tournament over at one of the PGA courses over there near Jacksonville, and I actually had a hole-in-window. So they had just built some new condos right along the fairway, and so boy, I hit a 9-iron on this short par 3, and boy, I just knew it was going to go on the green. And as I looked up, I saw the ball just go right over. It hit the window. The screen popped the ball back out over near the golf cart path. So I could have played the ball right there, but the owner of the condo came out and grabbed my ball and told me I should go back to the practice.
No! Oh, no.
Well,
But it's a great thing that you guys are doing, and you were talking about the 17-0 Miami Dolphins, and I have one of the towels that says that, and a Coke bottle or whatever it has on there, the memorial stuff. So, and Don was a good player. I know he wasn't on that team, but he was better bowling ball probably than he is a golfer. But I have a friend Dick Burgoon, I think, played golf with him before, so.
Oh, okay.
He'll probably drag me out there. So
All right.
keep up the good work, Don, and the Special Olympics. So
Thank you very much.
Very good. Yeah. Robin got a hole in Lake, by the way.
Well,
Yeah,
the
he
good
did.
news for him, though, Larry, is that it's out at Silver Spring Shores,
Yes.
and they do have condos, so maybe he ought to come out and play, and he can
sounds
have a
like-
chance of getting a little closer this next time.
It sounds like he is going to play. By the way, when a woman plays and she hits a ball into the pond, there will be men asking, "What did it say on the ball?" And she had to tell them it said Titleist. Well, there's probably a million balls that say Titleist in there, right? So they went into the water, these guys,
Yeah, that
and then they
surprised
found
me.
her like 3 holes down and say,
Yeah.
"Ma'am, excuse, is this your ball?"
Yeah.
I said, "Holy cow!"
We were playing for the veterans that day.
They wouldn't have come looking for me for my ball.
No.
I don't think so. Well, it's an honor to have all of you in here. I'm so proud of Ocala. I mean, Ocala steps up to the plate for everything. And Tom, where do you live?
Always.
Where's your home? Is your home in the Villages?
I live
Don?
in Summerfield right now.
Oh, in Summerfield,
Been
okay,
there.
okay.
We moved up here in '99, and we love it. We just love it to death up here.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for including Doug in on this. I think you were responsible for that, right? Thank you for doing that. That made everything. We put that on Facebook. We put the ad on Facebook so his family could hear it. His family lives out of the area, and anybody who's ever gone to there's a lady recognized in the newspaper, I think 2 or 3 days ago, who's been coaching for Special Olympics for 30 years. Do you know
Yeah.
Dee Dee?
Yeah.
Do you know Diane Nason?
She's our aquatic, trainer, director.
Diane Mason, yeah. We've known her for, 35
Wow.
years, I think.
Yeah.
My
Dee Dee,
son
yeah.
takes swimming lessons. with
Diane actually
Is that right?
is our Coach of the Year
Coach
for
of the
Special
Year.
Olympics Florida.
Yeah, I saw that in the
So
paper.
she's the Marion County Aquatics coach.
Yeah. So
So we're
She's
proud
great.
of that.
She's
She's
the only
wonderful.
one that won the award, the whole state.
she's been dedicated to it.
And Connie herself is actually
just
very
pull that
active. Connie herself is very active with her husband and doing the physicals for the athletes.
Well,
So she's
very
been doing that
good.
for a number of
Very
years as
good.
well.
You all are giving so
Nice.
much of yourselves. Thank you, all of you. And thank you for the chocolate also. That was nice. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it's a peace giving for not showing up.
All right. Carl
Yes.
Corbin, thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you
No
so
problem.
much.
And just to mention real quick that the $1 Million Hole-in-One sponsorship
Yes.
is our featuring, but we do have other hole-in-one groups.
Prizes?
So, we've got a 2013 Dodge Dart being offered by Phillips Chrysler.
Oh, wow.
And then a few other packages under that same. And then Kicking Back Cafe is stepping up and doing our beverage sponsorship. So I want to put a plug out for them.
Okay.
They're out in Lynn.
And actually, that's a good thing to mention. This is not just golf. You get to eat twice, right? You get breakfast and lunch, right?
Breakfast and lunch.
And if you don't play golf, we actually, as Don had said, we have a non-player. So if you want to be a friend of Special Olympics Marion County and you're not a golfer, you can actually still contact us. And we are having a sponsors reception night before at Homewood Suites that Anthony James was kind enough to get us set up with. And we can get you set up for that as well if you'd like to come out. It's by invitation only, but we do have room, and we can, but we need to know, and there's a small cost for it, but it's all to go, again, to benefit our local athletes.
And you can sponsor holes at different levels. Let me just
absolutely.
ask you to end it with a phone number and a website if you have one. I know you give the
yes, sir.
Facebook.
Absolutely. Telephone number is 352, local call, 462-3080. 03. I can see stuff backwards too. So I'm going to say it again. It's 462-0380, and you can also email to soflmarion@gmail.com, or again, you can also go on Facebook and contact us that way, or see any of our sponsors. And we do have a couple billboards up, so look on the billboards as well.
Okay, Carl, Don, Tracy and Connie, thank you all for coming in today. Thank you for what you're doing.
you.
Thank you for what you're doing.
myself.
All right, we will take a little break, and we will be right back.
We're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
You've got a garden, and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source, 1370 a.m. and the new 96.7 FM.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Hi, I'm Buddy Martin here to tell you about some very exciting news for listeners to our station. It's called our Weekly Football Bonanza. 4 events over 3 days to celebrate the game of football we all love. A chance to get yourself in a football mood for the weekend. Starting Thursdays, we'll kick it off at Mark's Prime Steakhouse in downtown, where we'll broadcast live, and you can get your entries ready for our Pick 6 contest. Check out Football Friday and Community Day at Gateway Bank each week as we broadcast live from the Gateway Cafe. Then tune in WOCA Friday night for the high school football game of the week involving Marion County teams. And wrap it up with Football Saturday at Pie, brunch on Broadway at 10 a.m. as we get you ready for college football. Food, football, fun. Don't miss our weekly football bonanza on WOCA, 1370 AM, 96.7 FM, The Source.
Robin, we need a trophy for the winner of the best rock band.
Oh, who won?
Stone Quarry.
Ooh, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Maybe. I'm thinking we should call BJ Trophies.